Now, one thing is certain about the future of the Star Wars universe is that a lot of fans are absolutely looking forward to 2 TV shows for 2023. That, of course, being The Mandalorian Season 3 by both Jon and Dave, as well as the Ahsoka Tano series starring actress Rosario Dawson. That's really gonna propel things in a new direction, showing fans a light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to the overall brand. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about the new Star Wars universe is that a lot of things are currently being worked on at the same exact time. You know, we got Disney Plus Day and D23 that are going to be the destination of a lot of new announcements, as well as Star Wars Celebration next year. That's really going to be the very important event that's going to unveil the majority of the new Star Wars TV shows as well moving forward. Now, given that Favreau and Filoni, as well as Lucas, are really working together as a trio, if you will, to really bring Star Wars in a new path. So, everything ranging from taking the highlights from Star Wars Legends to dragging in the new Star Wars universe, of course, creating new canon and really trying to stay as accurate as possible. It's all up to them, really, and really, you know, bringing it down to executing these stories very well. It's all up to them, and I really do have a lot of faith in Favreau and Filoni. So, with that being said, what's even all the more exciting has a lot to do with the fact here that Jon, George, and Dave are indeed going to be taking the best parts from Star Wars Legends and throwing it into, of course, all of these new Star Wars projects. Now, moving forward from all of this, alright, one thing that a lot of fans have been very curious about is exactly what's been going on with the new films. Now, with both Disney and Lucasfilm currently developing a host of new Star Wars TV shows and movies that will be announced in the near future, it's described that currently one of the big plans by Bob Chapek, the Disney CEO, is to expand the Skywalker saga in the form of movies by continuing with episodes 10, 11, and 12 that are already in the very early stages. Disney is said to have an entire plan mapped out for the new episode films in order to give it one final shot to end the Skywalker saga properly for the fandom. Now, further, it's described that the first, of course, Disney plan right now is set to release 3 major books that will be labeled as episodes 10 through 12 that will follow the stories of Cade Skywalker, who is set to be the son of both Rey and Ben Solo. The plan by Lucasfilm is to give the Cade Skywalker character the actual name of Skywalker based, of course, on Ben Solo, since Ben Solo is a true Skywalker at heart. This comes after how Favreau and Filoni decided to erase the Rey Skywalker concept in order to make her hold both the bloodline of Kenobi and Palpatine. Now, Lucasfilm is planning to get the films to go into production sometime by 2026, but before then, they are going to be releasing books and comics related to the stories called episodes 10 through 12. Featuring new villains such as Darth Talon and others, as well as a direct descendant of Luke Skywalker that will serve as another Skywalker character. Now, this is best described to be Disney's final shot at ending the Skywalker saga, except this time around with George Lucas's true vision intact. Now, Mark Hamill surprisingly has already been approached about this, with the possibility of him returning for the role of Luke, most likely as a Force ghost, since this is set to take place 30 to 40 years after episode 9. Now, let me just, stop here quick for a second. The thing that Disney and Lucasfilm needed to really work on with episodes 7 through 9, without a doubt, had a lot to do with the fact that it really needed more of George's vision intact. It really did. I think that if they followed through with the legend stories for that trilogy, it would have been superior, without a doubt. I mean, with the snap of a finger, they could have done incredible things. They could have really dragged in characters like Jason Solo or, even Ben Skywalker in the mix. But they decided to just do something completely different. Now, obviously, I understand that to a degree. Maybe they didn't want to do Legends at the time, but that's, what they had to do. There's no contest. I mean, when you look at Legends and when you look at the sequel trilogy material, there really is no comparison. Legends really is the true vision of Star Wars. So, moving forward from all of this, we obviously know that they really failed when it came to the sequel trilogy movies. Even many of the actors, such as Oscar Isaac and John Boyega, have said before in the past that they felt that that trilogy needed a lot of work, it needed a lot of improvement. There was so much more potential that they passed up on. And that's exactly what Disney wants to fulfill now. They want to give it one last shot with episodes 10 through 12. And after all, by the way, guys, George Lucas always wanted the series to end at an episode 12. That's what he really wanted. And he actually had a lot of, a lot of overall ideas, essentially, to expand it to that point in time. So, with that being said, alright, moving forward, Disney is planning to announce the new episodes at Star Wars Celebration 2024 in order to really surprise fans of what they expect to begin work on, of course, in 2026. Now, though it is a far ways out, in the meantime, Disney wants to focus on many of their TV shows and ways out. In the meantime, of course, on that, actor Garrett Hedlund has already been approached to become the character known as Cade Skywalker, and how they are going to be using him as a reference for the books and comics before they get to the films. Now, the new films are also pre-planned to feature a new war that takes place in a new region of the galaxy that will be explored, that features multiple Jedi temples this time around. The focus for Lucasfilm is to essentially make this like the prequel trilogy era, where many Jedi exist, except in the future this time, with a new Skywalker story intact to follow the tales of new Darth-oriented characters. George Lucas is also set to supervise these new projects and has even been approached in the talks of co-writing them if he wants to by the time they begin production and, or of course, the scripts in the next couple of years. So, the other thing that I do want to add on to here, and we talked about this before in the past, about how they have all these early plans for 10 through 12. I think that maybe it's a sign of desperation here, but Disney really wants to end things on a more positive note when it comes to the episode films. They want to create that legacy, you know? So, given that episode 9 did not work out too well for them, as far as feedback went, or even as far as box office went, it made less than The Last Jedi, if I recall correctly. And when you look at it like that, obviously that's when things were going south. So here we are with the Mandalorian series and the Ahsoka stuff and all the TV shows. A lot of fans are also still waiting for the movies. Now, yes, besides the 10 through 12 projects, we have a lot of solo films in development. Now we're talking about Taika Waititi's movie, which, by the way, I don't know where that's going. I don't believe it's going to go anywhere, to tell you guys the truth. But we also have other TV shows out there like Rogue Squadron, etc., that are going to be meant for the theaters, but they're also working on other films and other trilogies that they want to do that are going to debut in either theaters or on the Disney Plus platform. They're trying to figure out exactly which movies are going to end up in the theaters and which movies are going to end up on Disney Plus. They want to expand things that way. And I've always said this before in the past, that at the very minimum, if you're putting out a Star Wars movie that's very meaningful, it needs to go into the theaters. You know, a movie like Rogue Squadron or something like that, I could see that being more oriented with Disney Plus, to be honest. But anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys have to say about this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to